Diani Ridge, the place of peace, just 20 kilometers from the CBD. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Are you a KCSE graduate? Congratulations! Achieve your career dream by enrolling for a rewarding course with CASNEB. CASNEB is a professional examination body with a mandate to offer globally recognized professional, diploma, and certificate qualifications through various accredited institutions. Enroll now for professional qualification whose entry grade is C+, diploma in credit management, or accounting technician diploma course whose entry requirement is a C- in KCSE, or for certificate in accounting and management skills comes with a minimum grade of D plain. For more details, call 020-4923-000 or visit our website on www.casneb.or.ke. Casneb, be empowered. Okash is the fastest and easiest way to apply for short-term loans from your mobile phone. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings instantly into your M-Pesa account and become a member of the Okash loyalty program to apply for discounted loans. Okash is an award-winning mobile loan service and is trusted by millions of Kenyans every day. Download the Okash application from Google Play Store and enjoy easy, safe, and flexible way to apply for short-term loans. Welcome to the Okash experience.
Here is an easy guide on how to use our E-levy portal, the one-stop portal for online registration of establishments remitting the 2% tourism levy payments and levy account management. Firstly, you will need to visit the website levy.tourismfund.co.ke on your internet browser to access the levy portal. If you do not have an existing E-levy account, click Sign Up to begin the registration process. Once you have filled in all the necessary information, click Register. For new clients, you will be required to click on Management at the top of the screen, click Establishments, and then select New. Registering an existing establishment. Fill in your registered email address or phone number and input your password. Click on Management, click Establishments, and then select Existing. Your establishment will now be registered on the E-levy platform. Congratulations on completing the registration process.
This is NTV.
The Kenyan capital, Nairobi, is the nerve center of the nation, the cog that rolls the turbines of most, if not all, sectors in the country.
That's right, Nairobi hosts the seat of power and is a focal point of the economy and the first point of contact for many who fly in from far lands.
And when the capital crumbles, so does the 1,000 square kilometers of land mass that surrounds it, and the millions whose lives are affected by activities and decisions made right here.
Tonight, we ask the tough questions.
Hello there and welcome to NTV Tonight, this Wednesday, the 29th of January. Also coming up in this broadcast.
Did the county assembly meet the constitutional threshold when they impeached the governor? There was not even a name of any one witness that was put forth before the Senate who could have come to give evidence to rebut what the Assembly of Kiambu placed before the Senate.
Tonight,
Just consider my case.
Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu's date with fate.
Also tonight, a dark cloud of disarray hangs over the city in the sun.
People are exposed to diseases which will include parasites, which cause diarrhea. They could also be exposed to malaria because mosquitoes breed there.
On team coverage tonight, we focus on a city in a total mess and the ripple effect it is having across the country.
Plus, student quarantined at KNH in suspected case of the deadly coronavirus in a stable condition.
We limit movement as much as is possible.
WHO calls a crisis meeting as death toll rises to 132 in China.
And
Deputy President, I can assure you one thing. You have one general to the head. Baka mwisho.
former Agriculture CS Mwangi Kionjori declares unwavering support for DP Ruto. The bridges of division are still being built.
Live from Nation Center, this is NTV Tonight with Smriti Vidyarthi and Mark Masai.
Good evening once again. Thank you for choosing NTV for your news update. Now, statistical numbers place Nairobi's economic significance at slightly over 20% of the total national output, hence the importance of the capital.
That's right. With a population of 4.39 million people, the capital accounts for 21.7% of Kenya's economy. In the financial year 2018-2019, the county received 16.2 billion shillings in allocation from the national government.
The county then collected 10.25 billion shillings in own source revenue in the same financial year, which was 66.1% of its target.
Well, these billions are for a simple task, but one that seems to elude them with unyielding consistency. That is, making the city a habitable place, at least by global standards, for the millions who live and work here.
And that's why that's the main focus for Team Coverage Wednesday today. Let's bring in the team to help us break down the state of the capital. We have Olive Burrows, Silas Apollo, Zainab Ismail, Victor Kiprop and Ken Mijungu, who are joining us for that.
That's right. First, though, to the big story tonight regarding an impeachment motion of Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu. Ken Mijungu has been monitoring the Senate special sitting.
Ken, the majority leader earlier, Kipchumba Murkomen, that is, failed to move a motion that would eventually lead to putting the question before the plenary. What impact does this decision have to this impeachment trial?
Well, Mark, this can only mean very few things. It majorly means that the question cannot be put on the plenary. And remember, this is still an ongoing process within the Senate. So if that question is not put by Kipchumba Murkomen, it means that they cannot put the question to ask whether Ferdinand Waititu will be impeached or not. And it means that motion cannot be adopted or it cannot be rejected. But there is a reason behind Kipchumba Murkomen not doing this. And one of the major reasons, and perhaps the only reason that I might underscore tonight, is the fact that there's a question over the quorum at the Kiambu County Assembly over the number of members of County Assembly that were present. Now, Kiambu County has 60 wards, which means 60 elected members of the County Assembly and 32 nominated. For you to pass that motion that impeach him at the County Assembly, you need 2/3, which is about 61.3, which is essentially 62 members of the County Assembly. So that is a contention. So Kipchumba Murkomen, the majority leader, said that because there's that question, then it's impossible to know if they should proceed with this impeachment or not, Mark.
And Governor Waititu's final submissions were punctuated by some emotional statements. What exactly was the issue there?
Right, Smriti, what Governor Waititu was trying to do is to prey on the emotions of the members of parliament. He was trying to guilt trip them because of some of the things that he said, reverting back to his profession when he was mayor of Nairobi, when he was member of parliament, and even when he's now governor of Kiambu County, by telling them that he has an impeccable record and telling them that they could likely also suffer the same fate. He was trying to make a little bit, to get a little bit of sympathy from the members of the County Assembly. So he quoted several things. He mentioned his character. He also mentioned justice a lot in his statement. He mentioned what happened prior to his impeachment. And of course, he mentioned about the evidence that was not presented, even though he did not present that evidence himself, Smriti.
We have been changing parties. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. So you cannot judge a politician from what was happening last week or yesterday. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So honestly speaking, I beseech you, honorable senators, that don't judge me from what happened or what is prevailing now. You might be very surprised with what will happen tomorrow and the day after. Did the county assembly meet the constitutional threshold when they impeached the governor? If, Mr. Speaker, they never met that threshold, then, Mr. Speaker, by virtue of lacking the relevant jurisdiction as a House, Mr. Speaker, there would be no ability for us to investigate the veracity of the issues, Mr. Speaker, therein, whether there was a gross violation of the Constitution, whether there was a corruption. Number two, Mr. Speaker, opportunity to be heard, Mr. Speaker, means that we accord you an opportunity to present your evidence before this House, Mr. Speaker. And the rules gives Mr. Honorable Waititu 3 days under Rule 6. But what have we seen, Mr. Speaker? We have sat here, accorded Waititu 4 hours. There was no evidence given on oath by Mr. Waititu. There was not even a name of any one witness that was put forth before the Senate.
That was earlier in the day, and the proceedings are still ongoing at Senate. Seems to be a long night for them. Depending on how it goes, Ken, what's the next course of action for the Senate and for Waititu?
The next course of action is basically if the Senate adopts that motion from the County Assembly, then it means Governor Waititu stands impeached, and there's no other process unless he tries to go to court to challenge the process of the Senate. But remember, this was brought to the Senate under Article 181 of the Constitution that spells out the reasons why a governor can be impeached. The other option, Mark, perhaps, is that the Senate fails to adopt this motion as presented in the Senate. Remember, it's been a lengthy process. At one time, they even refused to go through the meeting of the Speaker constituting about 11 people to investigate this. So they went for the plenary. So if they fail to adopt it, then it means Waititu still remains the governor of Kiambu County, and this has to be communicated in writing from the Speaker of the Senate to the Speaker of the respective county assembly. And here we're talking about the Speaker of the Kiambu County. So there can only be two options: they adopt or reject it with consequences, whichever decision they take tonight.
All right, Ken, thanks very much indeed. We will be keeping close tabs on those developments and bring you the latest as and when things break. All right, now though, let's take you back to our team coverage topic of the day, and that is the crumbling capital. A look at the state of the capital city.
Starting us off is Silas Apollo. Silas, all the challenges facing Nairobi can be traced back to the leadership crisis, can't they?
Yes, Mark and Smriti, for close to 2 months now, the city county of Nairobi has been without a governor. Of course, there is also the lack of a deputy governor in the city county of Nairobi. So this means that there's more of a leadership crisis in the county. Of course, some have also been proposing that the management of the city county be transferred back to the national government so that some of the messes and the leadership issues in the county, of course, are addressed. Here is a report I filed about the report.
When Mike Sonko was elected as the second governor of Nairobi, his supporters celebrated, terming it a new dawn for the county that had been in the hand of Evans Kidero, whom they accused of mismanagement. But 3 years later, nothing seems to have changed. There is no governor, no deputy, and a number of county executive committee member positions are vacant.
Legally speaking, the governor is in charge, but his ability to perform his functions is limited. So limited that it's almost possible to say that there is no one who is effectively in charge of Nairobi County.
Stella Agara, a governance expert, blames the crisis in the county on Sonko's failure to nominate a deputy. Agara says the effect has been an electorate that is disenfranchised and denied of services.
Candidates to office.
Troubles at the city county began when Polycarp Igathe resigned as deputy governor, saying he had lost the trust of the governor. Since then, attempts by Sonko to nominate a deputy have hit a snag, with a section of MCAs opposing the move as illegal.
The only problem with Mike Sonko is that he sees enemies in every bush.
The assembly has also been on the spot for proposing that the Nairobi Regeneration Committee should run the affairs of the county, a decision experts have termed as an illegality.
Nairobi Regeneration team cannot take over the functions of the county because it lacks legal foundation to perform functions that are constitutionally assigned elsewhere.
Critics of Sonko say the stalemate in the county is not new given Sonko's track record of intimidation, blackmail and the casual manner in which he has been running the affairs of the county. Some are now calling for the return of the management of the county back to the national government to restore order.
All right, Marcus Muriti, just as you've heard from my report, what this essentially means is that without a proper leadership in place, service delivery has been affected greatly. Related to this, of course, is the infrastructure. And as Zainab Ismail finds out, Zainab, what do you have for us?
Infrastructure in Nairobi is seriously wanting, from the state of poor roads and of course the degraded drainage systems, all caused by the dysfunctional system at City Hall, where you'll find, and this is specifically especially on the urban planning department within City Hall, and you'll find that unqualified contractors are awarded tenders and licenses to construct roads and buildings, which eventually lead to loss of life. Here's a report I filed earlier on. Just 2 weeks ago, violent protests was witnessed here along the Mwiki Kasarani Road, with residents engaging police in running battles over the poor state of roads. And the government, in a predictable fashion, sent out machinery and a team to check out the road and, of course, just ensure that some of these roads have been repaired. But the state is not all that better.
By which time, one life had been lost. A 17-year-old boy caught up in the chaos and shot at close range. Several days later, it still takes a new set of skill for drivers plying this route.
Barabara tu wamegusa kidogo, wamelima kidogo, but bado haijatengenezwa venye tulikuwa tunataka. Mashimo ya barabara bado iko, na kama ni jam bado iko.
As the rains continue pounding the city, evidence of the creaky drainage systems are everywhere, spilling over stinking raw sewage, crumbling walls, potholes and flooded roundabouts. The result is heavy traffic jams.
We don't have a city master plan as it stands. Even our zoning regulation is outdated. And the problem is we have segmented roads up to the village where this road connecting to this road, this is county, this is Kera, this is Kura, this is Kena, and the common man gets confused. Why don't we just put it all together that all roads in Nairobi, it's under Kura, for example. So there's no blinking.
Poorly constructed houses have been caving in and killing residents of the city, thanks to licenses and permits handed out by authorities without due procedure, pointing to a dysfunctional system at City Hall.
The problem with our country, unfortunately, Zainab, is that we have made construction still to be a business and not a profession. So anybody can be a contractor. People deliberately design these things to fail a certain time so that work come back to them. Probably why some of us actually believe that we need to revert the city back to central government.
The County Assembly, in a recent special sitting, voted to hand over the affairs of the capital to a nascent regeneration team. But even this faces serious legal hurdles. The embattled governor, at one point, appearing to throw in the towel.
Naomba msaada wako Nairobi, Mheshimiwa Rais. Kama ni revenue, chukua huko national government. Kama ni planning, Mheshimiwa Rais, ichukua pia ile national government. Kwa hiyo njia ukinisaidia Mheshimiwa Rais, cartel zitazikwa kwa kaburi ya sahau, wananchi wapate maendeleo, vijana wapate kazi.
For now, it seems the residents of the capital will have to contend with poor service delivery, a mockery of the long queues they have to endure to pay taxes for better services.
All right, so in many ways, parts of the city are crumbling quite literally. And as you can see from the poor state of roads that we've just shown you. And of course, if we do not change the leadership, or we do not have proper leadership within the city, county, of course, things will remain the same. And of course, Olive Barrows will now be exposing the rot within the city as well, literally. Olive?
That's right, Zainab. In recent days, the coronavirus has had the world sitting upright at rapt attention, much as I am doing now. But the experts say we have far much more to worry about from the garbage heaps we sidestep than a disease halfway around the world away from us. Now, I spoke to city residents as well as the experts on that particular situation, and this is what they had to say on the city in the dump. Between the coronavirus in China and the locust invasion, one might be tempted to draw a comparison to the 10 plagues of Egypt. But the experts say you're far more likely to catch a case of the plague from the solid waste you sidestep as you make your way through the streets of Nairobi.
Where fleas live in those rats, they are likely to carry those fleas, and those fleas may have the organism that transmit plague.
City residents testifying to a failure by the Nairobi County government to effectively manage the solid waste.
Tumeona ni kama hatuna county government ama cause imeanza kuaffect hata wenzetu wadogo. Inazuia barabara, maji kitoka kwa barabara inakosa pali ya kuenda, inaingia kwa manyumba za watu ovyo ovyo.
The solid waste getting trapped in the drainage system and resulting in flooding only scratches the surface of the danger the solid waste portends. But the problem doesn't stop at garbage collection. Question is, where does your trash end up? In Nairobi's case, most likely at the Dandora dump site. And like the flies that populate the site, the city's managers have for decades swatted away the challenges the open dumping site presents.
Health is more important than money. It is the humans who make the money. The money does not make human.
The Dandora dump site, more than just an eyesore, both literal and figurative, but there has been a price to pay for ignoring the problem.
We have a lot of chronic health conditions, cancers. Some of them are actually as a result of this improper management of solid waste, sewage, and hazardous waste.
This isn't to guard against the coronavirus, it's to guard against the host of other diseases you're likely to catch by living and working near garbage heaps such as these. In September, Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko was grilled by the EACC in regards to questionable multi-million shilling garbage collection and disposal tenders awarded to 13 firms by City Hall. The EACC wanted explanations on how the firms won their tenders and the payments made to them, dating as far back as April of 2017. Still under the one who came before, garbage tenders were riddled in filth and controversy. Evans Kidero, responding to the concerns from city dwellers, defended the laxity of the county in cleaning up the city, citing corruption as a major challenge. Well, from that stinker, we shift our focus to the safety and security of the city residents. Mel Miendo, do you have those numbers for us?
Thank you, Olive. Let's now look at the trends in crime in the capital with data from the judiciary for the period from January to December 2018. Now, look at the crime analysis figures in Nairobi. The number of crime cases reported to police stand at 7,128. Among these was 6,212 sex crimes, which include rape and defilement. Registered murder cases at 66, half of which have ended up in convictions in the courts. In Nairobi's Milimani Court, filed criminal cases at the Anti-Corruption Division is 98. Those resolved, these cases are 49, and pending criminal cases at 93. Now, at the Criminal Division, 1,741 criminal cases were filed, 897 of these were resolved, and 865 remained pending. The Chief Magistrate's Court had the highest number of filed criminal cases at 16,670 in Nairobi. Those resolved were 10,284, while others are still active cases. Now, in the year 2018-2019, the total pending cases at the Milimani Court were 8,200, these being criminal cases. The Anti-Corruption Division had 128 cases, while the Children's Court had 535 cases yet to be solved. Most of the crimes in the capital are reported in informal settlements. Countrywide, some of the highest number of cases are in offences against persons at 25,049 cases. Those of stealing stand at 12,845, while dangerous drugs at 8,021. Economic crimes is at 4,100 and homicide at 2,856. So that's what the picture looks like when it comes to crime and insecurity in the capital. This, alongside other governance-related issues in the city, have affected the business environment and traders, as Victor Kiprop has been finding out. Victor?
All right, Mel, thanks for that. We'll bring Victor to you in just a moment. But first, we cross over live to the Senate. Mark, breaking news.
That's right. Ferdinand Waititu stands impeached as he has, as the Senate has moved and voted to 27 senators for his impeachment and 10 against, right? Rather 11 against. And that's actually the live proceedings of the Senate as they leave following this vote. But the breaking news is that Ferdinand Waititu stands impeached as the Kiambu governor.
All right, big news there, and we will bring you all the latest developments that come with that. It has been a day-long sitting of the Senate, and finally, as Mark said, Ferdinand Waititu from Kiambu has been impeached. All right, let us now continue with our team coverage, and Victor Kiprop, over to you.
All right, thanks, Mike and Smriti. Of course, after all that we have covered, Nairobi is indeed a crumbling capital. But even so, the Nairobi City County government has a 35.2 billion shillings budget that it needs to finance. And one of the many ways it can do that is through charging fees and business permits that and other clearances that are available to businesses. And today I visited some of the traders in different parts of the city just to get a sense of how it feels to do a business in a crumbling capital.
Wednesday afternoon in Nairobi, East Africa's largest capital city and commercial hub, which is also the home of 21% of Kenya's gross domestic product GDP. Nyambura Nganga, a small-scale trader dealing in building and construction materials, is going about her business, one that she says has seen tough days in recent times.
It's very difficult to work in Nairobi. It's getting hard each and every day.
At the heart of her troubles is the growing list of levies that she has to pay to run her business in the capital.
If it's license, tunalipa license in, we are paying a license for shop, for fire, for advertising. If your shop does not have a canopy, you pay a license for it.
Having missed its revenue collections target in the last financial year by a whopping 5 billion shillings, the county government of Nairobi is under pressure to improve revenue collections through the more than 130 revenue streams available. The growing number of levies by the county government also add to the already heavy taxation burden shouldered by businesses, including the recently effected 3% turnover tax.
Sana kwa sababu watu wanalia, watu wamefunga, wengine na ni sekta zote. Kwa hivyo hawezi sema ni biashara yako iko mbaya. Kwa hivyo hata ukiuliza mwingine sekta ati ni utake kuhama, anakuambia bado watakuwa wanalia.
Changamoto zenye ziko ni customer, kwanza ni customer hakuna, ya pili hakuna pesa inatufikia huku kwa ground, huku tuko tunauza vitu.
For a small trader, kila kitu kwetu is expensive, it's painful. Juu hatuna ile environment tunataka kufanyia kazi. If you give us a good environment to work in, kazi itakuwa mzuri pia kwetu.
The Nairobi City County Government has begun collecting business permit fees and other related levies from businesses, an exercise normally associated with harassment of small traders in a city that is already more hostile than friendly to business.
It's very painful because in the end of the day, you are paying much. Unalipa pesa mingi sana. So for a small trader, kila kitu kwetu is expensive, it's painful. Juu hatuna ile environment tunataka kufanyia kazi. If you give us a good environment to work in, kazi itakuwa mzuri pia kwetu.
Well, Mark and Smriti, quite simply, business is bad, and until the county government shapes up, traders will keep feeling the pinch.
All right, Victor and the rest of the team, thanks very much for those detailed reports. And now, with many aspects of Nairobi found to be wanting, do residents themselves feel that they live and work in a crumbling capital?
The city is in a very bad state in terms of infrastructure. The drainage system are worse than they were, and the county government seems to be sleeping on its job.
The people of Nairobi have suffered due to gross mismanagement. I think we have seen this in some deplorable state of the buildings, some collapsing, and also when it comes just to CBD itself. I think when you look at Nairobi in the recent times, the smartness and cleanness is nowhere to be seen today.
But I just don't like the street, the congestion, especially the flooding. When it rains, it is just crazy. There are places that you cannot even skip and jump.
Security is, okay, I can say it is not good. Because once you hear some calamities here and there, that means things are not working well.
State of security, it is very bad. The security people should do, instead of chasing people with the petty offenders. There are so many thugs, but you'll find the security people are following people with the petty offenders.
Is there really a person who is really working for people out here, or is there a drift in Nairobi? Do we have a side where people are just hustling to the point of maybe we should steal for a living? And do we have another place where they have these huge hotels and these big corporations where it's more advanced and cool and silent?
Nairobi's infrastructure is growing. We have not reached the milestone yet, but we have a long way to go.
There's a lot of improvements because previously, when there's an emergency, everybody is taking parts in commands, everybody is taking part, but now there is somehow a good infrastructure of managing the disaster management.
Next time, I think this stands as a lesson because many times during times of election, we are promised much, but I think to me this is only cosmetic because the natural thing has not been seen.
We should actually give supporting infrastructure, the road network. Yes, we are seeing there's a population upsurge in the city. Are we prepared for that? If you look at the outskirts, most of the people are coming close, others are going away because they want to be places where they can. I want to live in a place where I'm sure I can actually get a house. I want to live in a place where I know there's constant supply of water. I want to live in a place where I know the securities are, I'm guaranteed of my security. But what is happening, these things are only guaranteed in the leafy suburbs.
Yes, that's the focus on the crumbling capital, Nairobi. And as it seems, there is a precedent that's been set given the ruling from Senate earlier on, just a few minutes ago, where Senate voted to impeach Ferdinand Waititu, who was facing 3 charges, and they found him guilty of all 3. Among them, that is abuse of office. And yes, that means the next step of action, of course, if he doesn't take any recourse legally, is that his deputy takes up the reins. But as it is right now, Ferdinand Waititu ceases to be the governor of Kiambu.
At this point, we take a breather on NTV tonight. There is so much more coming up, including
Oya ni aje, mimi ndo Jonte Fresh. Mimi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumio transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya bail into the freshest Iggy kosi yote. Siri ni hii Ariel mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer unaisana na hii story. Ninatumia Ariel touch of down mpya tu.
Welcome home to Amani Ridge, the place of peace. Your own urban sanctuary. A lifestyle waiting for you just 20 kilometers from the CBD. A place to unwind and get your health and fitness goals attained. A secure place for your family. A place for your children to have fun. A place to enjoy a sundowner. Success just doesn't happen. You have to make it happen. Make the impossible possible. Invest in Amani Rich, the place of peace. Luxury you can afford. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there.
Selena!
It's great seeing you getting so much value for your money.
Well, it's important to save as much as you can.
You save everywhere. Except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain.
How?
On these cleaning products.
Impossible.
Harpic 10X. While other cleaners flow away, Harpic 10X's viscous formula in only one round of application gives you sparkling, clean toilet. Harpic, 10 times better cleaning than other cleaning products.
And great savings too.
Eldoret Technical Training Institute, ETTI, is a student-centered institution offering competency-based training and market-driven courses at higher diploma, and certificate level. Registration for January, May, and September 2020 intakes is ongoing in the following programs: Building and Civil Engineering, Business Administration and Commerce, Agriculture and Animal Health, Travel, Tourism and Hospitality Management, Education, Social Studies, Information Communication Technology, Accounting, Banking and Finance, Medical and Health Sciences, Journalism and Mass Communication. Apply now. SMS your details to the numbers on your screen. Eldoret Technical Training Institute. Growing reputation.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity.
That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate. Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities
For maximum cavity protection. And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh bread. Only 15 shillings.
Okash is the fastest and easiest way to apply for short-term loans from your mobile phone. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings instantly into your M-Pesa account and become a member of the Okash loyalty program to apply for discounted loans. Okash is an award-winning mobile loan service and is trusted by millions of Kenyans every day. Download the Okash application from Google Play Store and enjoy easy, safe and flexible way to apply for short-term loans. Welcome to the Okash experience.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Why is your sister like that? She's so possessive. You know what, if I were you, I wouldn't let her do that.
That's not going to happen. Put your trust in us. Don't tell me you're getting cold feet.
Well, it's hard to trust criminals.
Anna, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what happened. Answer my question. Where is my son? I don't know.
As you can see, I'm in prison. How could I kidnap my own grandson?
Stop acting like you're innocent, don't listen to him, Anna. No matter where you hide your men, I swear I'm going to find them, even in hell, you hear me?
That's JR, right? That's Anna's baby. Why do you have him, Mom?
Welcome back. The World Health Organization is reconvening the emergency committee to look at the novel coronavirus outbreak and to look at whether this outbreak is a global health emergency.
It may take longer for Kenya to get preliminary reports from the samples taken from the suspected case yesterday. Eunice Omolo has more.
The Ministry of Health has remained tight-lipped on the progress update of the Kenyan student from China who is currently in isolation at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Experts believe that even though the Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, has the capacity to conduct tests, this case might take longer because it is a new strain of virus still under scrutiny. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Health hinted that the samples taken from the student were to be sent to South Africa for more tests. However, it is not clear whether this has happened. It is believed that the National Virology Center in South Africa is not keen on accepting any virus-suspected samples from outside its borders. As the epidemic escalates, the Kenyan envoy to China is calling for drastic measures, including suspending travels to China.
As much as, yes, it's impacting on our economy, it is impacting on people going for business, what is more critical is life. And I would probably advise that we limit movements as much as is possible. Of course, there are those areas that are safe, but being an airborne disease, and this virus is something that's highly infectious.
But the national carrier Kenya Airways says it will not suspend flights to China. Serem has also indicated that the country is yet to come up with plans to evacuate Kenyans in Wuhan.
It has been taken by the government is to ensure that those that are within the area are not even further exposed. So the option of even evacuation should not be an immediate concern for now. I think the best thing is to contain it, and once that is contained, because they have been put on quarantine for at least 14 days. If the 14 days are over and everybody is safe, then it is easy to move and to access. Okay.
The Chinese Health Commission says the death toll has risen to 132, with reported cases rising to 6,000. More than a dozen countries have reported a total of over 60 cases. WHO has convened an emergency meeting for Thursday. The British Airways has suspended all direct flights to China, and the government has urged Britons not to travel to the country as a precautionary measure. Eunice Omolo, NTV.
Meanwhile, Embakasi East MP Babu Owino's release on bond in his attempted murder case is now headed to the Judicial Service Commission for review after the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions registered its reservations.
Nuruddin Haji says the terms of the bond were not normal and vowed to use all legal means at his office's disposal to challenge them. NTV's Brenda Wanga has more.
The latest round of criticism over the release of Embakasi East MP Babu Owino on cash bail is coming from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The DPP's complaints just adding to previous questions raised over the bail terms.
We are going for revision. We are aggrieved as ODPP, and we have also written to the JSC to complain.
In his ruling, Chief Magistrate Francis Andai not only allowed Babu Owino to pay the 10 million shillings in 4 installments, he also ordered that the same be used to clear hospital bills in card.
I cannot fathom it. I have never had, first of all, of bail terms that you're asked to pay in installments. And then secondly, my understanding is that once you pay bail, it goes to the exchequer. So how will we be able to access the money to go and pay for the injured party?
The same question that the Law Society of Kenya had raised. LSK, in its response to the ruling, also wondered what would happen if the entire bail money was used up in the settling of the hospital bills.
We want to exhaust all channels that are at our disposal. This is an anomaly in my opinion.
There are those who see nothing untoward in the ruling, stating that although it is unusual, it wasn't forbidden.
Creativity in administration of justice can go a long way in securing fairness.
The DPP also called out corruption in the judiciary system and urged all players to observe their part in the fight against graft.
From investigations to prosecutions, all the way to the judiciary and even the correctional services, we've had corruption as a problem.
The DPP now says his office is trying out new methods of handling cases with the hope of getting more positive outcomes in court. Brenda Wanga, NTV.
Right, elsewhere, one person has been shot dead along the Loruk-Chemolingot Road in Baringo County amid safety concerns in the region. The victim was a motorcyclist who was ferrying students to Marigat.
His killing comes at a time when police bosses and the Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembea were conducting an aerial surveillance of Kapedo, where bandits ambushed and killed 4 people on Monday night.
Police officers and helicopters have been deployed to search the Bushi area and flush out the bandits. Natembeya said people in Baringo and Samburu counties had many guns compared to livestock.
Baringo North residents barricaded roads at Moinonin to protest against the rising cases of insecurity.
And we are saying that as security teams who are charged with the responsibility of maintaining law and order, this culture must stop, and that those who are responsible for this heinous act are going to face the full wrath of the law. As we speak now, officers on the ground, they are combing that area. They are cowards, basically, because after they did that act, they have disappeared. Now you go to that village and there is nobody. It's completely deserted.
Talking politics now, Deputy President William Ruto's allies have vowed to host their first Parallel Building Bridges Initiative Consultative Forum next weekend in Nakuru County.
Well, this is despite the fact that all public venues have already been booked for other functions by the county government.
The Deputy President, who was among high-profile guests at a funeral service in Kiambu County, says every Kenyan has a right to attend and share their opinion on the BBI report. Seth Olale reports.
Speaking for the first time since the Naivasha meeting, attended by over 150 MPs, resolved to conduct parallel BBI consultative forums, Deputy President William Ruto urged all Kenyans to freely share their opinion on matters BBI, stating that there was no reason to panic.
Tulizeni boli, mambo iko sawa. Hatuwezi. Mimi nataka mjue kabisa. Mtu sikuwe na wasiwasi ati pengine itafanyika. Hakuna kitu itafanyika. Kenya hii tutaishi pamoja kwa amani tukienda mbele.
Former Agriculture CS Mwangi Kiunjuri, who publicly shared a platform with the DP for the first time since being fired as CS, pledged his unwavering support to the Deputy President.
William Ruto is my friend. He remain my friend. And Deputy President, I can assure you one thing. You have one general to the head. Baka mwisho. Ukienda upinzani tutaenda pamoja. Ukiuda serikali tutauda pamoja.
Bahati MP Kimani Ngunjiri, who was also on the receiving end of a tongue lashing by the president on Tuesday when he visited the MP's constituency, says his life is now at risk but will remain loyal to the Deputy President.
He is coming on my gate kunipiga mbele ya watoto yangu na kusema atanimaliza. Sasa wamenyang'anya mimi bunduki yangu, wamenyang'anya mimi security. What is next?
Ngunjiri, who is supposed to be the host of the first parallel BBI meeting in Nakuru next weekend, blamed Governor Lee Kinyanjui for booking all available public venues, but insisted that the meeting will go on.
Hata kama ni kwa street, hata kama ni kwa barabara, tutafanya mkutano wetu tarehe 8 na tutauza BBI ya Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta siku hiyo.
The leaders also took a swipe at governors for pursuing selfish interests in supporting the BBI.
Utengenezwe regional government uendelee kutuibia zaidi. Lakini tusiongee. That, Your Excellency, I must say we will not accept.
Hii mambo ya BBI hata mnatuwekelea governors na kusema tunataka regional government. Mambo ya sheria inaanzianga bunge. Na hata nyinyi wananchi, wacha niwaulize. Kama uko na njaa na kuna mtu anakuja na chakula, utakataa?
Tushirikiane kama nchi mzima, isiwe tu tujione ni sisi tu, tushikane na wengine, Wakenya wengine. Tutengeneze BBI ambayo italeta utajiri katika mifuko ya maskini wetu katika nchi yetu.
The leaders spoke during the funeral service of the late Ruth Wanjiku in Kiambu County, the mother of Eldoret-based businessman Joseph Wanaina. Deputy President William Ruto's allies have not publicly stated whether they will attend this weekend's BBI consultative forum in Kitui, but still maintain that they will host the very own next weekend in Nakuru. Seth Olale, NTV, Lari constituency, Kiambu County.
All right, from that, it's time to shift focus to the business news. Julian Zamboko joins us now. Hey, Julian, what do you have lined up for us tonight?
Great to be here. We have a lot to discuss in terms of East Africa economic outlook in Kenya, as well as matters at the Securities Exchange based on what is developing today. So that and more coming up after the break, including the Secretariat of the East African Community speaks on the ongoing trade drive between Kenya and Uganda. More on business.
Mommy.
Today's a toilet day.
What? Oh.
Selena!
Toilet day?
Tomorrow we're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
It's a toilet, not a white shirt. Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with bleach and detergent, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible.
Challenge. Harpic 10X.
Even if you use bleach and detergent 10 times, they won't give you the same sparkling clean toilet that Harpic 10X will give you. Wow!
Harpic 10X. Harpic, Kenya's #1 toilet cleaner.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Do you have what it takes to become the next generation of great innovators, business magnates, corporate icons, engineers, and renowned researchers? Be part of over 40,000 students pursuing and nurturing their career at Moi University. Enroll now for January, May, and September 2020 intakes for postgraduate, degree, and diploma programs in the following schools: School of Business and Economics, School of Arts and Social Sciences, School of Information Sciences, School of Education, School of Agriculture and Natural Resources, School of Biological and Physical Sciences, School of Tourism, Hospitality and Events Management, School of Aerospace Science, School of Public Health, School of Medicine, School of Engineering, School of Law, School of Nursing, School of Dentistry. Enroll now. Moi University, the foundation of knowledge.
What do you see on the horizon? They say how you start your decade will determine how the rest of it will be. Imagine a decade full of opportunities, investment being one of them. Do you want a place to feed your mind, body and soul? A place to unwind every day, where you can get your health and fitness goals attained? A secure place for your family? A center for quality academic goals for your kids? Or perhaps a place to connect with your friends? Well, you can get all this and more at Amani Ridge, the place of peace, just 20 kilometers from the CBD. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
To answer, Mary.
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because her tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate. Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities for maximum cavity protection. And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh bread. Only 15 shillings.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply. I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizop technology, to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
it's time to get down to business. Welcome, I am Julian Amboko. But I'm told before we get down to business, Seth Olale should be giving us an update. And Seth Olale, what's the latest from where you are as we speak? Yeah, we're trying to get my colleague Seth Olale just to give us an update on the latest developments that have just transpired this evening regarding matters of the Senate. But just before we get to that, let's talk about matters East African community. Following the growing strain in bilateral trade between Kenya and Uganda, the East African Community Secretariat has moved to allay fears over the seizure of milk imports by Kenyan authorities. The East African Community, I should say, says it is looking into the matter to alleviate deterioration of regional ties. The Secretary General Liberon Fumukeko says there is no cause for alarm over the development. The Uganda High Commission this month wrote a letter of protest to the Kenyan government over the seizure of Lato milk products.
We have technical meetings in all partner states. We know the kind of problems that importers are facing, and we address these issues during our council meetings. If you compare the East African community of today with the one of 10 years ago, really we have made a lot of progress.
Right, and now we switch gears to my colleague Seth Olale, who's at the Parliament buildings, to give us the latest update following the developments we've had at the Senate. Seth, give us the latest from that end, please.
Well, the latest is history in the making, and especially for Kiambu County, after Senate approved the removal, or rather the impeachment of the governor, Ferdinand Waititu. But right now, very fast, I have some members of the County Assembly for Kiambu County, where this particular process started, and it started by none other than the mover of the motion, who is the Denderu MCA, Solomon Kinuthia. It is a big win for your motion, isn't it?
Yes, we thank God for everything, and also we want to take cognizance of the fact that the senators were very fair, and they were very independent in evaluating the evidence that we tendered. It's quite unfortunate that the governor did not have any rebuttal evidence to speak to the facts that our evidence put up. So the next stop now is to plan for the way forward for Kiambu, and would urge Senate Speaker to communicate this resolution expeditiously to the Chief Justice so that arrangements can be made to swear in the Deputy Governor as per the law, so that Kiambu and the people of Kiambu can move on.
And this is the first time this is happening. Just tell us about is it a seeming vacuum, or what will happen next as far as now executing mandate right from the top of the office is concerned?
No, there is no lacuna anymore. Even though there are sections of the County Government Act that previously disallowed the governor to have executive mandate, now with this petition for removal of governor having been confirmed by the senators, now all systems go for the deputy governor, and Kiambu residents will enjoy unabated services as they were used to before we made a mistake of electing a self-centered governor. Yes.
In terms of operations at the county government of Kiambu, ever since this process began, in terms of service delivery, has it been normalized? What are the residents saying? Because now with this impeachment, the normal Mwananchi, the Kiambu resident, where does it put him in terms of demanding service delivery from the county government?
In the intervening period between July, when the governor was suspended, and today when he was finally impeached, services were affected, but the deputy governor and the assembly and the executive committee tried the most to make do with what we could do, despite the obvious constraints. But now we expect that there will be synergy between judiciary and Senate, so that normalcy is established and residents can still continue accessing services, and of course with the full confidence of those people who are in leadership, because the only person who was affected by issues of corruption is now gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Solomon Kinuthia, the MCA for Denderu, but also most importantly, he is the one who tabled that motion to impeach Ferdinand Waititu as governor right in the county assembly of Kiambu. And right now he says that it is a victory not only for them as MCAs, but also for the residents of Kiambu. And of course, this is a story that we'll be following up tomorrow and in the days to come. Back to you in studio.
Many thanks, Seth, for that quick dash to the Parliament Road and giving us real-time updates on the latest development. Back to business. The government says it is well on course to complete the construction of the Eldoret bypass by August this year. Lois Ongoi now tells us why the 32-kilometer road will go a long way in decongesting the Eldoret-Malaba highway.
The construction of the Eldoret bypass is now about 60% complete, according to the Kenya National Highways Authority. The main scope of the pending work entails construction of 3 major interchanges and bridges at 3 points.
Kilometer 0 plus K, we are standing at kilometer 10 where we have what we call Kapseret interchange, and then onward we have now the final interchange at Liseru, which is a full clover. It's like what you have in Nairobi at Ole Sereni.
The Eldoret bypass will be an alternative point of entry into and exit from Eldoret town and its environs. This is expected to reduce commute time and fuel costs incurred by motorists. Goods for export are expected to have a smoother transition through Eldoret, which currently suffers huge traffic snarl-ups along the Eldoret-Malaba highway.
I want to report that the sections that we are working on are the sections that have been fully acquired and compensated.
Now, Kenha says the government, through the National Land Commission, has settled an estimated 360 affected persons, covering 40% of the projected persons who will need compensation. The Eldoret bypass will be a 2-lane single carriageway, complete with 3 separated junctions, 7 bridges and social amenities. Lois Wangoi, NTV Business, Eldoret.
Let's talk about the capital markets. Shareholders of East African Cables were left counting their losses as the company's share price tumbled during Wednesday's trade, as it emerged that one of the creditors had filed a petition at the High Court seeking legal redress. The company's share price fell by 10.1% to close Wednesday's trade at 2 shillings and 13 cents.
Fortunes have been dwindling for East African Cables, with its sales having plummeted to 1.6 billion shillings in 2018. Down 68% from the 5.1 billion shillings registered in 2014, in what the company has attributed to a slowdown in the construction sector and power connectivity projects. As a result of this decline in sales, the company has been struggling to lift itself from the lost territory over the last 4 years without much success. In its latest filing covering the full year 2018, East African Cables registered a 568 million shillings loss after tax, a slight improvement from the loss registered in 2017. Beginning mid-2017, East African Cables commenced a debt restructuring exercise, essentially an undertaking to seek more favorable terms to meet its loan repayment obligations. It is the filing of a petition before the High Court by SBM Kenya earlier this week, which has elicited concerns around the financial health of East African Cables. SBM Kenya is reported to have sought liquidation of the company in view of East African Cables' liabilities. In a statement, however, East African Cables says it continues to actively engage all its creditors in completing the remaining phase of debt restructuring, which includes the debt by SBM Kenya Limited. Investors are now waiting to see how the matter between East African Cables and SBM Kenya will be resolved, with sources indicating the hearing of the petition is slated for February 4th, 2020. The slump in the company's share price saw shareholders lose 56.4 million shillings in market capitalization during Wednesday's trade.
And elsewhere, as the window for public participation in the budget-making process draws to a close, a section of stakeholders are proposing a raft of measures which could translate into a higher tax burden. Speaking during the pre-budget hearings organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs in Nairobi, the International Institute for Legal Affairs is proposing the reintroduction of a uniform specific tax rate for all cigarettes, which will be increased by 15% from the present 3,100 shillings per kilogram. Further, it is proposing on an increase of the tax rate on alcoholic drinks by 15%, while that on sweetened beverages by 10%. Proposals on debt partaking and repayment have also been tabled before the National Treasury.
Kenya's economy will expand by 5.8% this year, 0.4 percentage points lower than the Central Bank of Kenya's projection. For an economy that is operating below its potential, it will take much more in terms of execution of policies besides lending rate cuts to stimulate the economy to higher productivity.
We know that.
Apologies for that mix-up. The government has been challenged to go a step further to provide incentives for banks to lend to specific sectors aligned to the Big Four agenda. This comes in the wake of the cut of the central bank rate to 8.25% 2 days ago. Alex Mwangi with the details.
Standard Chartered Bank projects that Kenya's economy will expand by 5.8% this year, 0.4 percentage points lower than the Central Bank of Kenya's projection. For an economy that is operating below its potential, it will take much more in terms of execution of policies besides lending rate cuts to stimulate the economy to higher productivity.
We know that there are economies such as Nigeria which look at lending, sector-specific lending. So those are some of the low-hanging fruits where banks could be incentivized to lend to specific sectors so that they can be able to support this Big Four agenda.
With a 25 basis points cut of the CBR to 8.25%, the Central Bank of Kenya has clearly shown its intention to boost economic growth by promoting lending to the private sector. Financial and economic analysts at Standard, however, believe there is a further rate cut in the offing.
We would expect to see more monetary policy easing, particularly in March, where we're expecting to see a 25 basis point cut in the policy rate to 8% from the current 8.25%. And this is as monetary policy starts to do some lifting of the economy or stimulating the economic growth.
The desert locusts ravaging various parts of the country, if not dealt with effectively, could undermine the productivity of the agricultural sector, which is the single largest contributor to the GDP.
We would expect to see a higher inflation profile this 2020 because of that particular invasion, and possibly that may provide some risks to our policy rate outlook.
According to Standard Chartered, Kenya's neighbor to the west, Uganda, and to the south, Tanzania, are both expected to have GDP growth exceeding 6% in 2020.
So our expectation for 2020...
Alex Mwangi, NTV.
And that report by Alex takes us to the close of business. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth, causing that discomfort. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne to their patients. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down. And the proof's in the results. It works.
Kisha tusonge mbele, kisha tusonge mbele. Kisha tusonge mbele, kisha tusonge mbele. Tusonge mbele.
Tusonge mbele na Fiber Mobile. Get a Fiber SIM card today and enjoy Tusonge mbele bundles at affordable prices.
Heaviness and a burning inside, it could be heartburn.
Indigestion and heartburn? Eno gets to work in 6 seconds and works on the 6 symptoms of heartburn so you can keep living life non-stop. Eno, fight heartburn and indigestion fast.
Are you a KCSE graduate? Congratulations! Achieve your career dream by enrolling for a rewarding course with KASNEB. KASNEB is a professional examination body with a mandate to offer globally recognized professional, diploma, and certificate qualifications through various accredited institutions. Enroll now for professional qualification whose entry grade is C+, Diploma in Credit Management or Accounting Technician Diploma course whose entry requirement is a C- in KCSE, or for Certificate in Accounting and Management Skills comes with a minimum grade of D plain. For more details, call 020-4923-000 or visit our website on www.kasneb.or.ke. KASNEB, be empowered.
Do your gums hurt?
Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile?
All that in one toothpaste?
Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums.
Ah, Colgate Herbal.
Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
With Libana M-Pesa, you get more, and now you can win.
Libana M-Pesa.
There are surprise gifts to 8 customers every minute. Tractors with extras.
Libana M-Pesa.
Plus 6 apartments to be given away. Make payments via M-Pesa buy goods or pay bill. Every 100 shillings spent on Libana M-Pesa earns you an entry into the draw. Do more with Libana M-Pesa.
Betika community is a movement. We started this initiative to support grassroots talent because we want to change and transform lives.
Ball imechange maisha yangu. Ball imefanya nimerudi shule, nimemaliza shule. Hope sana ball itanisaidia.
At Betika we saw the amazing talent that our youth have in football around Kenya, and we said, what are the challenges that these teams and these young people are facing? And the most immediate need for them was football kits.
Tumepata uniform safi, tutakuwa tunatumia kwa tournament, so tuko ready kupiga shughuli.
Every winning team will take home a cash prize of 200,000. They get to nominate a community project in their area. Our dream is to see our boys playing in those grand soccer stadiums across the world, and we'll be very proud when we see some of our Betika community players in such tournaments.
Here is an easy guide on how to use our E-levy portal, the one-stop portal for online registration of establishments remitting the 2% tourism levy payments and levy account management. Firstly, you will need to visit the website levy.tourismfund.co.ke on your internet browser to access the levy portal. If you do not have an existing E-levy account, click Sign Up to begin the registration process. Once you have filled in all the necessary information, click Register. For new clients, you will be required to click on Management at the top of the screen, click Establishments, and then select New. Registering an existing establishment. Fill in your registered email address or phone number and input your password, click on Management, click Establishments, and then select Existing. Your establishment will now be registered on the E-levy platform. Congratulations on completing the registration process.
Thank you for staying with us. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has called for the removal of term limits for the position of governors.
Kalonzo says that is better than introducing a third tier of government to cater for governors who have served their second and final term.
On her part, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu says the BBI initiative is all about the 2022 elections, emphasizing on the need for leaders from the Ukambani region to be part and parcel of the process.
The two leaders were speaking in Athi River in Machakos County during a consultative meeting for Ukambani leaders on the BBI report.
Makueni Governor Kivutha Kibwana and his Machakos counterpart Alfred Mutua did not attend this particular meeting. This comes a few days before the BBI regional rally is held or expected to be held in Kitui this Saturday.
So that governors don't have to think of second tier, third tier. Make it that because a governor ataangusha na watu kulingana na vile amefanya kazi. Remove the term limit for governors. And hii maneno ya kusema third tier na nini, because in my view, it may be a problem. It may be a problem in this country.
Me, I want to believe BBI has a lot to do with 2022.
As a prime minister, someone who is a leader of the party with the majority in parliament. Suppose that is Uhuru Kenyatta. Unasema you have served your 2 terms. This is a different thing. Tuelewane, mnanielewa? Mnanielewa? So that is a possibility.
All right, now to another story, and that is about a missing priest. And members of a church whose bishop was kidnapped 3 weeks ago have taken to the streets of Siaya town to protest what they term as police reluctance to arrest those behind the incident.
The protesters accuse the police of not apprehending the abductors, despite being provided with a list of names of the suspects. Oko Kusa with the details.
At the home of the missing bishop here in Luanda village in the county of Siaya, a special prayer session has reached fever pitch. The prayers are for the family of Bishop Charles Owur of Raw Judea Church, who went missing on the night of January 11th after he was picked up at around midnight by two men masquerading as policemen.
Saili alikuwa natoka wakienda, nikawaambia mwezi mkaenda na mzee peke yake. Wacha hata mimi nipande hiyo pikipiki yenyu hiyo nyeupe niende naye. Waliniambia pikipiki haiwezi katoshea watu wa 4.
Helen woke up her firstborn son and the two rode to the nearby Alego Ndere police post. The men had indicated this will be their final destination.
Nikifika huko nikagonga nyumba ya polisi lakini sikufunguliwa.
With no information from the Siaya police station either, Helen and her fellow worshippers were sent into a panic.
As far as this case of our brother is concerned, there are strings attached, especially from the police, the Department of DCIO, and the suspect.
The suspect being referred to is a senior forest officer in the county government of Siaya, said to be at the center of a land dispute with the missing bishop.
This land issue is over a parcel number 491 Nyalgonga sublocation, which was given to the abducted man by the grandfather.
The wife to the DCIO Siaya is an in-law to the forest officer who is advancedly mentioned in this matter. And therefore, it is our appeal that the government brings in a separate and independent body to investigate this matter so that we can help recover our brother.
Contacted by NTV, the Siaya County Police Commander Francis Kohli said detectives are investigating the incident. Ouko Kusa, NTV, Siaya.
From Siaya NTV tonight, we'll be going to the world of sports. Brian Otwal is standing by.
Eldoret Technical Training Institute. Registration for January, May and September 2020 intakes is ongoing. Apply now. Eldoret Technical Training Institute. Growing reputation.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
Did you know our market capitalization of $9.7 billion makes us a leading African banking group? Absa Group, serving Kenya as Barclays.
Welcome to our big family. You see, in this family, we have fun together and we look out for each other because we care. We share whatever we have. We protect and support each other. Welcome home, where we love and care for each other. We're so excited that you're joining us.
Welcome to the new member of our Nivea family. New Nivea Petroleum Jelly Essence, enriched with glycerin for long-lasting moisture and protection.
Okash is the fastest and easiest way to apply for short-term loans from your mobile phone. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings instantly into your M-Pesa account and become a member of the Okash loyalty program to apply for discounted loans. Okash is an award-winning mobile loan service and is trusted by millions of Kenyans every day. Download the Okash application from Google Play Store and enjoy easy, safe and flexible way to apply for short-term loans. Welcome to the Okash experience.
Molfix breathable surface developed with Airsoft technology is very soft and provides the best Molfix skincare.
I found the best diaper for my baby's sensitive skin.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
Kupika kila mtu ajipikie yake. Na vyombo za nani? Kwa nani?
Am I not getting some?
Ice cream ya wageni. Wewe nitakuletea maji kwa jikoni.
A girl's gotta eat to keep up with you, Mr. Guns.
Well, that's absolutely correct.
This festive season, get a decoder with subscription at an unbelievable festive offer of only 1,499 shillings. You can also pay 1 month and enjoy 2 weeks free on a higher bouquet. For more information, call 0719 077 077.
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
Why is your sister like that? She's so possessive. You know what, if I were you, I wouldn't let her do that.
That's not going to happen. Put your trust in us. Don't tell me you're getting cold feet. Well, it's hard to trust criminals.
Anna, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what happened. Answer my question. Where is my son? I don't know.
As you can see, I'm in prison. How could I kidnap my own grandson?
Stop acting like you're innocent, don't you listen to him, monster. Anna. No matter where you hide your men, I swear I'm going to find them, even in hell, you hear me?
That's JR, right? That's Anna's baby. Why do you have him, Mom?
NTV Sport in association with Mozart Bet. SMS NTV to 29990.
Let's have a look at the day's sports news. Welcome, my name is Brian Otwal. All eyes will be on the Kenyan delegation that is off to Zurich, Switzerland tonight to brief the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, on the developments regarding the Football Kenya Federation elections. FIFA wants the elections done by the end of March, with the current regime tenure expiring on February 10th.
The push and pull regarding the Football Kenya Federation elections has got to the doorstep of the World Football Governing Body, FIFA.
FIFA, together with CAF, we needed to have a broad picture and a full understanding of what is going on and what will be the next steps.
Sports CS Ambassador Amina Mohamed alongside FKF boss Nick Mwendwa, Sports Registrar Rose Wasike, and the Sports Dispute Tribunal Chair John Ohaga are expected to hold a meeting with FIFA on Thursday and Friday in Zurich, Switzerland, in a bid to find a way forward for the elections to be held.
We're going to be tackling all these issues. Everything is back on the drawing board, and we'll be addressing them one after the other.
From their visit in the country last year, FIFA reiterated that elections must be held before the current term of FKF office holders expires. Nick Mwendwa's term expires on 10th of February, while the sub-branches and branches' terms expired on Sunday. In its special general meeting on Tuesday, FKF ratified deliberations of consultative public meetings across the country, addressing the issues raised by the Sports Dispute Tribunal on the FKF Electoral Code, as well as the FKF Electoral Board.
And it doesn't really matter that the incumbent eventually wins. The point is that the people who compete with the incumbent must feel that they had a fair chance.
The process we have done now cannot be challenged. I'm sorry. Coming back on Saturday, this matter of election is finished. Run, if you want to run, prepare your nomination papers, get your Chapter 6 documents ready, because a week from now, we will have nominations for branches.
FKF had requested to proceed with elections and thereafter comply with the Sports Act 2013 on issues as required by the Sports Registrar, despite having been in office since 2016. Failure to hold elections or interference from third parties will lead to a ban by FIFA, among other sanctions.
It's FIFA to the rescue once again. Moving on, defending champions Gor Mahia beat visiting Sofapaka 2-1 at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu to go top of the Kenyan Premier League standings. Boniface Omondi gave Kogalo the lead on the 12th minute before Jaden Nana netted the equalizer 6 minutes later. Captain Kenneth Muguna scored the winning goal in the 63rd minute. With the win, Gor go top of the table with 41 points after 17 matches, while Sofapaka are 9th. At the Kericho Green Stadium, Zoo FC came from behind twice to hold Mathare United to a 2-2 draw. The draw leaves Mathare United lying 10th, while Zoo are 12th. And 17-year-old Benson Omala has been crowned the best player for the month of December 2019, becoming the youngest player to ever win the Kenyan Sports Journalists Monthly Award. Omala, who is a Form 4 student at Kisumu Day High School, scored 5 goals for Western Stima in the Kenyan Premier League in December. He also became the first Western Stima player to ever score a hat-trick in a league match. Omala is the third player from the Western Stima to win the monthly award in the award's 6-year history. He follows in the footsteps of Kenneth Muguna and Wesley Kemboi. Omala was also in the Chapa Dimba na Safaricom All-Star team that went to Spain last year after emerging top scorer in the Nyanza Regional Finals.
I would like to tell the head coach of national team, he will see me more and more in days to come.
From the fact that you are a student and a candidate of KCSE, ensure that you focus on that exam. And I want to assure you that if you want to go and play in the EPL, first get a grade that will take you straight to the university.
And Greg Snow of the Muthaiga Golf Club is the winner of the Sigona Golf Club leg of the Safari Tour Golf Series. Snow carried a tournament total of 8 under par 280, and his outstanding performance at the Sigona saw him make history as the first player to record a hat-trick of consecutive Safari Tour wins after win it at Muthaiga, Thika Greens and Sigona. This leaves Snow as the only golfer to record 4 Safari Tour victories in a season. After 9 events this season, Snow, Dismas Indiza, Simon Gige, Eric Oko, Riz Charania, David Wahu, Kopan Timbe and Tony Omuli occupy the top 8 Kenya Open qualification slots reserved for local players. And leaders Liverpool can stretch their cushion at the top of the Premier League to 19 points as they aim for a 15th straight win against West Ham at the London Stadium tonight, which is a rescheduled match from earlier this season. West Ham are aiming for their first victory over the Reds since January 2016 and are seeking to stay above the bottom 3. Liverpool striker Sadio Mane is out after sustaining a muscle for 6-7 loss to Dominic Thiem in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open. The world number 1 had an opportunity to serve for the first set and went a break up in the second before losing both to the determined
SMS NTV to 29990.
Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
And with 22 minutes past the hour, we're way past our time. But yes, given the team coverage and focus on the crumbling city, that is the crumbling city of Nairobi, we appreciate your feedback and we will work towards making it better, and as well as a follow-up on the news that broke earlier on today on the impeachment standing by the Senate's decision early on in the evening, and Ferdinand Waititu ceases to be the governor of Kiambu. And my apologies to Flora Atieno for not acknowledging her at the beginning. We value your work. Thank you. Have a good night. I'm Mark Masai.
All right, Mark said it all. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Smriti Vidyanathy. We will both see you again next week. Bye-bye.
This is NTV.